Emergency pod alert. Emergency pod alert. The Shouse effect is back, baby.
Bobby, hit that
Reek,
alarm. I know you've been
Reek,
dying to hit it.
Reek
Hit
is
it.
home for good. Let's go. Shout out to
Yes,
the Dye
sir.
Bar hats.
Got
Shout
Joe
out to the
Robbie, Blizzy, boy Eric here. Breaking news: Tyreek Hill gets his extension. We're here to talk about it. We're gonna break it down. Gonna play the intro real quick, and we're right back to break it all down.
I'm putting the helmet on as always.
The opportunity is right now.
Terrific defensive play. Intercepted. From the Valoa. Off the back. Tua on the move. Going deep. Speedways. He's got Hill. He's got Hill. The Dolphins have recaptured the lead.
Well, the bar is open early today, boys.
Hey, hold
Let's
on,
go.
Blizzy, that's your first time on the show, watching it live. How'd that make you feel?
Oh, that gets me hyped. It was perfect too with the hill that he's got Hill
Hold on,
today.
the what?
Oh, he's got Hill. He's got
Oh, we got the drops, bro. Bobby got the drops.
Yo, Ghost is
Hey,
at work
hey.
right now throwing a
You
fit
know I had
because
to put it
Bobby's
on.
using the sound maker. He hates it.
He's sitting somewhere in a closet in a nursing on the hospital, freaking shaking his head.
In scrubs.
Poor Ghost.
Literally.
So how
Well,
we
let's get
feeling, boys?
What's the details here? What we got?
We got
So-
90 mil over the next 3 years.
Yep.
106 and a half fully guaranteed.
Yep.
And the
65 million more
Dolphins-
guaranteed.
The Dolphins have locked in the number one rated player by the players
That's
in the
right.
entire league.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people saying they should have locked him in before this came out, but like this was old news. They knew about him being number one for a long time. So like that's
Oh,
not
yeah.
that's not current.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Bobby,
it's
I
all
mean,
pre-recorded.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
not to mention, I mean, we did bring this up after Tua's deal.
Yeah, that's what I said. I told if you subscribe to me, you know this. You've known this for like about 2 days before Tua got paid. The whole move always was Tyreek was on the back burner. Tyreek, they knew that they were good. Take care of Tua. Tua gets done. It's an immediate pivot to Tyreek. That's why he was all smiles. That's why he didn't care. As you can see, he knew 106 big ones was coming his way. So he was all good. It was always the move. Tua had to get taken care of. They were going to immediately pivot to Tyreek. And that's what happened. Done deal. Number one player in the league, the franchise, all locked up. Jalen Waddle locked up. Now, Holland?
That's
Are
what
we
I'm
looking
thinking.
at Holland?
Yeah, that's what
Little
I'm thinking.
defense.
Now, that's the one that's going to need the work. That's the one that's like, they pulled that one off. It's going to be like, okay, somebody did some work there.
You could try to get ahead of Jalen Phillips too.
You
Yeah,
could.
why not?
I think
Yeah, but they're probably
wanna
going to wait
get
that
on-
out.
Yeah, I think they want to.
He'll probably bet on himself, but you could try.
Yeah.
You got
For
money.
his sake, it's probably worth waiting, and for their sake, I mean, they're probably like, we'll let you get on the field, let you see what you got.
By the way, shout out to Blizzy. You changed teams. You're on the good team now. You're with the good guys.
I'm with the good guys.
You're with the
I
good guys. You played-
changed clothes too. I threw this jersey on so quick as soon as the news dropped. I had to.
Had to be done. Yo,
I'm
so
proud of you,
Rappaport
brother.
says that no New Year's added to his deal. It's the most guaranteed money added to a contract without adding years in NFL history. So basically, we just gave him some more guaranteed money.
I'm ready to see their structure and see if it opened up any more money or how it impacted the current cap situation, because that's the big one.
Well, boys, I wanted to pop on real quick. I'm about to take wifey to lunch.
Do your
It's a great-
thing, bro.
It's a
Hey,
great
you
day.
gotta
Have a
do.
great day.
We appreciate you blessing us with that view.
Hey,
Yeah,
holla
wow,
the
look at
God
that.
Bar, boys.
Can we see the water? Oh, look at that, bro.
Living.
Nobody
Some
got
people-
it better than
some
this
people
guy.
got all the luck, man.
All
Yeah.
right, boys, I love you.
See you, brother.
See you, bro.
Dude, what
The
a crazy,
Rosenhaus
crazy
strikes
few
again.
days. Crazy few days to be a Dolphins fan. It's been a hell of a ride the last 8 days, 8 or so days.
Yeah, it's been a lot, man. A lot going down.
No distractions. Zero distractions. Everybody's handled. Everybody's taken care of.
Dude, the best part about this is in the span of just a few weeks, we locked up Tua, Tyreek, and Waddle together for the next few years, guaranteed. And I mean, that's our offense. That's what makes it go. We don't have to stress or worry about Tyreek leaving, maybe retiring. Like he was saying before he was going to retire at a certain age, but that doesn't appear to be the case anymore. And then Waddle, we don't have to worry about that. Like, is he going to move on? Is he going to get paid more elsewhere? Like, we got all three of these boys locked up for this nice window that we have.
Yeah, I think that's the craziest part. There's probably a part of the offseason where it was like we had 4 or 5 guys that needed big extensions, and we were kind of like, we've got none of them done. It was kind of stressful. It was like, Can we get one? Who we keeping out of all of them? Like, can we get one? And now to like have 3 done in like within 8 days, within a couple weeks, you include Waddle, but to have everything just fall into place so quickly, and just to see that they kind of like they had a plan, they wasn't worried about it, and the things fall into place. It doesn't always work that way, but to see it all fall into place, it feels good, man. It feels different.
It's great. It extends our winning window also. We keep those 3 the core at least for those 3 years coming up. Sky's the limit.
And with Tua, like even people that are maybe 50-50 on Tua, one of the things was it's Tyreek. It's so much Tyreek and Waddle and McNabb. We're keeping it all together. It doesn't matter what slice of the pie you give anybody, because we're keeping it all together now. So it all works out perfectly.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a great thing. It's nothing to be mad about. You got the number 1 player in the league locked up. You got the best wide receiver too, if you even can call him that, locked up. QB1's locked up. Now we shift focus to the defense. Maybe we pivot, add a vet, maybe a trade, something coming up. So like the choices are wide open right now. So many resources, so many options.
Chris Greer in his bag again all off season. It's been a masterclass. He gets a lot of heat sometimes, but I mean, masterclass.
Don't get Blizzy going, man.
No, I don't.
I know the
Greer's been good this offseason, man. Greer's been good. I'll give it to him. He's done a good job with these deals with some of the free agents that we got. I mean, it's hard to complain. No matter what, this is the most exciting Dolphins team we've had in our lifetimes. Like, that's not debatable. So it's fun. It's a great time. It's fun. I mean, we've been to games, and that place is rocking. It's so much fun to be at those games. Think of the past 20, 30 years. Our only other good teams were like defensive teams. It wasn't that exciting, really. We never had this is like a show. Every Sunday it's a show. So, and we got it for at least a few more years at least. So it's like, it's a good time.
Yeah, this is probably like not even just current, but like in all time, one of the best offenses ever put together. Definitely one of the most exciting. It's insane, like the amount of talent we got. I really hope. I want to see what it does to our cap structure, but man, we should be able to take a pretty big swing here. Unless they just want to focus that cap situation on locking more guys up in future, contracts and stuff like that, then I definitely can understand that. Holland is the one that needs current, like Holland is the one extension that would take cap instead of create cap. So you could just be looking at a Holland slot if that's what they wanted to do. That definitely could be the case, but you could also see a big swing here, maybe for a vet. I would love to see a true starting guard brought in. That'd be killer right about now.
Stop getting us excited with the guard talk. It's too much. It's too.
Well, that's all we can talk about now. There's not really much else to talk about. What else would you like really want to see? Maybe
you're right.
Another vet edge, maybe another vet edge now.
Yeah.
With Shaquille Barrett retiring, and with question marks with Phillips and Chubb. But other than that, man, it's like, you got Lamb behind Armstead and then Patrick Paul as well. So you got tackles.
Yeah, we got tackles. Keon Smith, Ryan Hayes, that showing some stuff that we got tackles.
Yeah, I mean,
guard would be lovely. I mean,
it's guard.
You know how I feel about that.
Because we don't know who's going to win that starting guard spot. We don't know. I mean, Liam, we definitely need a guard. Somebody's got to win it.
I think I'm all for anybody stepping up. Like, I know I'm not like being a homer here. I know it's
Somebody
wishful
take the
thinking,
job.
but no one would be mad if Liam decided to be a solid starting right guard. I don't think like nobody would be like, damn, really? We got to watch him start every week and play decent. Like, that's not the case, but he has given us reasons to worry, or, haven't really proven himself or, earn that trust yet. I get that. So that the hats real quick, because I've seen this a couple times.
They're coming.
Joe Robbie, he likes to hoard stuff, but he got a small batch so he can see them and test them out and make sure they're quality, because we don't want to put anything out that isn't quality. We're not really trying to make money with our merch. We want nice stuff that people can wear and it looks nice and it's out there. And, so he got a small batch coming in. He's going to try it out. He's hopefully getting to camp sometime next week, and he's going to hand them out to the guys that came on the pod, all the players, so they can have them and hopefully wear them and stuff. But we'll be doing the hat. We'll be doing the hats here soon. He's got to make sure they're up to par and the quality's good and all that.
Yeah, man, I can't get a shot glass from him. He's
The
hoarding
whiskey
everything.
Glasses are lush. Those things went like hotcakes, bro. Those things, like, he did
They're
not
clean.
expect that.
Yeah, the crazy thing about the glasses too is he's got to reopen his DMs and start sending those out again, because he went to the Bahamas and the glasses were at home. He couldn't really do nothing about it, and people were like, "Man, I need a glass. I need a glass." And he's like, "Dude, as soon as I get home," they're like, "When you gonna be home tomorrow?" And he's like, 28 days."
Next month.
Hey, let me ask you guys something. I was thinking, as soon as this news dropped, it hit me like, oh, Tyreek might play for the Dolphins longer than he played for the Chiefs. And so it got me thinking, where, I know this is off the cuff, but where would you rank him as far as best Dolphins players ever? I mean, he might,
Our lifetime,
by the end of
or-
it, be one, right? Is that crazy to say?
Him or Dan, probably one. The thing is, if Tyreek could deliver a Super Bowl to Miami, I don't think you have a question then. I think that's really the only thing anybody probably waiting on.
Let's just start with one playoff win. He delivers with one playoff win. He shoots up that leaderboard. I mean, you're a little older than me, so I don't remember Dan too much. So if not like Ricky, then yeah, I mean, Tyreek's like the best football player I've seen ever.
The only other guy, Jason Taylor, is obviously in the mix, but I mean, he was a defensive player of the year. He was just one of the highest sack totals ever. I mean, he's up there. But but I think Tyreek could supplant Dan for number one. Like Bobby's saying, you got to get the Super Bowl or get to a Super Bowl at least or something like that. Because that's what Dan did.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with Dan Marino. Is like, that might be the best arm talent of all time, but a lot of people don't give him his respect because he didn't win anything. He don't have any hardware. So like the same with Tyreek, but he's got trophies. Tyreek's got trophies in the bag. That's one thing. I didn't even think about that. My boy's already got a couple. So he comes here, but you're asking about the Dolphins. So he comes here and he takes us to a Super Bowl, or this team wins the Super Bowl. I hate to just give him all the credit, but if Tyreek delivers a Super Bowl to Miami, he's royalty. Like, that dude, he eats for free the rest of his life. He probably already does, but
he probably already is at that point. Like,
I mean, his
Tyreek,
best seasons
man,
are here.
The guy has been better than we could have even dreamt of when we got him. You know what I mean? Like, that day was crazy, and he just delivered. Let me just say, if you're listening to this, don't let any negative haters on Twitter that people that wanted him gone, or to walk, or trade him, or hoping he would retire. That's craziness.
Yeah,
don't let any of those people bring down your mood. If you're a Dolphins fan, you should be pumped right now. Thrilled, over the moon. It's a great day.
That is probably one of the coolest topics too, is we talked to Tyreek about that when he was on here. It's when he got traded to Miami, even our own fans, it's a lot of talking heads, and everybody was like, man, because of some money, you chose Tua over Patrick Mahomes, man. It's career suicide, they called it. He's had the 2 best years of his career. He just got the most fully guaranteed money ever. Again, 2 record-setting deals already. And then he's had the 2 best statistical years of his life. And he says he's feeling better than ever.
He looks it, man. I mean, dude, that dude stays in tip-top shape 24/7. There's that was one of the things I loved. That dude, some guys some NFL players get a little lazy in the offseason, right? They maybe chill out, especially some vets who've done a lot in the league. Tyreek's like constantly like moving, like he's playing beach volleyball and stuff. Like that dude's just he's gonna he's always doing something, man. So it's like he's always in peak shape.
Well, he's got like, I forget what the number was, but he like toured the whole world doing his football camp. He's out there running one-on-ones versus every kid at the whole camp. Like, dude, he's going nonstop 12 months a year.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's special for sure. All right, boys, it's been a good time. I got to hop off here, but yeah, super stoked. Great day to be a Dolphins fan, and see you boys later.
All right, brother.
Peace. Later, Eric.
What kind of time?
There were two.
Yeah, what kind of time you looking at, Blizzy?
I got a few minutes. We can.
All right, cool.
If you got any.
Yeah. What? So you do the fins or die thing. Y'all still going? Y'all still doing y'all's thing or what?
Yeah, we're still going. It's gonna just be in season. We cut it back a bit. Sorty's got stuff going on, and we're gonna still just do the normal weekly during season thing. But that's we scaled it back some.
Yeah. How's Sorty doing?
Oh, he's good, man. I know he's hyped about this news, man. I mean, dude, like Eric said, there's literally no reason for somebody to be upset about extending Tyreek Hill because, like I was saying earlier, remember he was like Tyreek was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna retire at this year," but now he's not. It's clear that he's not going to. So that's a big win.
Yeah, we learned too that Tyreek says a lot of things.
Yeah, he does. He says a lot of shit.
So what is the full scoop on Sorty? He decided Twitter wasn't for him or what?
Yeah, I think he's entering his like dad era, He's not a dad either. He's not gonna be a dad or anything yet, but he's got his green egg now, his New Balance shoes. He's just he's going full blown into it,
Hey, no one can blame him for that. That's cool, man. So, like, what are you looking at as the team? Like, where's the weakness left? What do you want to see him do from this point until week 1?
Guard is a huge concern for me. I really like Robert Jones. I know you do too. Like, we've liked him. He looks like he's going to be a great Robert Hunt replacement. But I don't know about the other spot, man. Center's a little bit of a question mark too. So it's like, I don't know. That's really my main concern right now. And then maybe the D-line a little bit.
Yeah, just the interior in general. I think that could definitely be helped a lot. The T-shirts are something we're working on, but the T-shirts probably last in order. The hats are about done. We're going to have that have those ready soon. T-shirts, maybe we can put T-shirts with the hats, maybe if it works out perfect. But right now, the hats are first. Then we're going to work on shirts, and we can ship anywhere. I think we had people in other countries getting whiskey glasses, so we can work that out.
Damn, shipping to other countries.
International. Yeah, that's crazy. One of the coolest things I think about the Spotify thing is that you can look at like who is your crowd, and like it shows you like the age, male or female, and where they're from. And dude, to see like 8 different countries on our Spotify, it's like, dude, that's insane. Twitter gives you some stupid.
Where's like the furthest one or like the most like random like country? Like,
let me pull it up. One had like one person. I was like, I wish I knew who that one guy was. Let me see how
Australia in there.
Hold on, I got to figure out how to figure that out. So we had hold on. We got Austria, Ireland, Mexico, New Zealand, Canada, United Kingdom, and United States. Only
New Zealand.
We got 0.2 for Austria, Ireland, and Mexico, 0.7 for New Zealand, and 2% Canada and 3% United Kingdom, and 93% United States.
Damn. Okay. So that's probably 2 people in New Zealand. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was insane. So like, I was just messing with it, looking around on there one day about the analytics and stuff, because I care about that stuff. I'm always about like, what are we doing? How can we do better? Whatever. And I was like, holy shit, we got like 7 countries in here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's cool pretty cool. Hell. But yeah, I'm excited, man. There's not much not to be excited about right now. Everything's falling in place. It's kind of weird. I'm kind of waiting for something to go wrong as a Dolphins fan because it always does. But Yeah, man. Everything's good, dude.
Our first preseason game is next week, right? Or is there a off week in between the Hall of Fame game and preseason week 1?
No, I think we're on. I think it's this week.
I'm really excited. I want to see Chop because I mean the hype on Chop right now from out of camp is out of this
Insane.
world. So it's like I want to see that in a real game against an opponent and see I want to see that speed off the edge.
Yeah, I want to honestly, dude. With our young guys, there's so many people like Patrick Paul. I want to see him out there on an island by himself. Jalen Wright. I'd love to see him break one,
Jalen Wright.
run through somebody's chest. You got Cam Smith. It's year 2 for him, but still, I'd like to see him get thrown out there and see what he's looking like in second year.
Ethan Bonner, a lot of hype around him.
Ethan Bonner, Tanner Connor, he's healthy.
Tanner Connor.
Malik Washington.
Yep.
So there's man, honestly, I love it. I used to not really care about preseason, but with the young classes and stuff we've been putting together, especially in the skill groups, it makes preseason that much more fun. So I'm kind of excited. We got a lot of people that we really need to see get some reps that matter.
Greer's been doing a good job at finding some. He's always done a good job at it, finding some UDFAs, especially now that we haven't had many picks, especially early picks lately because of a lot of the trades we did. They've been more important. And I mean, he's been doing good lately with that, man. Who's that linebacker? What's his name?
Zeke
Vandenberg. Yeah, I mean, he might make the team. That might be a really nice find, he's been balling out.
Yeah, so the cool thing if anybody doesn't know much about Zeke was the FCS Defensive Player of the Year last year or 2 years ago coming out. And the Dolphins got him as a UDFA. And then he had an injury in camp or whatever, and they stashed him for a year. I call it a redshirt year. I think that's what it's technically doing there. But nonetheless, so Zeke is actually a ball player. I mean, he's a huge dude. He's 6'4". He was an edge rusher in college. So they've transitioned him to a linebacker, off-ball linebacker more, it seems, in Miami. But Zeke's a freak, man. He's
that's a big linebacker.
Dude, that's a big kid. And and like I said, he was an edge rusher and had a lot of sacks. So he's a freak athlete. So it'll be interesting to see. That's another guy. That's a perfect name for preseason. I can't wait to see what Zeke can do. Zeke would be an awesome guy to watch in preseason.
Yeah, he basically was like a red shirt. And me and all about red shirting dudes, We've been out there recruiting. We've been red shirting them.
Here we go. Look, me and Blizzy, we literally text about the new college football game. I don't know, every other day. It's man, we send each other all of our recruits. Yeah, I'm going on a trip down to the bayou. I got to recruit this kid. He's a running.
The voice memos are hilarious. We're living the recruiting life, man. We're out there on the road.
Dude, yeah. I mean, leaving the family behind. You're not seeing the kids much. The old lady's kind of just on her own, taking care of everything. I'm out there just trying to land 5 stars.
Hey, when a 5-star receiver has 98 speed, brother, you got to go above and beyond for it.
That's out of my hands. Honey, I'll be back when I'm back.
Tell her that's God calling.
You know what I mean? I'm about to drop 75 XP on this kid. And that's just what it is.
Man, it's a fun ass game.
That game, I will say this, for it being hyped up as much as it was, it had a lot of pressure to perform. And a lot of people was ready to be like, this sucks, but it doesn't. Naturally. And the fact that people were absolutely waiting to be like, this sucks, and they're still getting great reviews just shows you. And it's a really great game. I love the feel, even when you break a long run and the running back's kind of checking over his shoulder to see if the guy's going to catch it. It's little things they really did. They really did well. I'll be interested to see if they put how much of that they put into Madden, especially after getting so many good reviews. I'm wondering if they try to copy and paste that system over to Madden now, or what do they do there, because they've been catching hell. Yeah, they've been catching hell with Madden. And to finally
the thing with college, the atmosphere, dude, they did a great job at capturing the atmosphere, especially at certain big schools, the unique traditions and stuff,
Penn State.
And the NFL's not going to be able, Madden won't be able to copy that kind of stuff, that feel. But I mean, yeah, dude, it's fun. It feels like you're in the freaking stadium sometimes.
Oh yeah, especially with the controllers these days, you can feel everything. So the one thing I will say, they can do some of the stadium stuff. I feel like it should be a true perk. Like if you're in Kansas City in the playoffs, you should feel that. If you're in like the Superdome on Monday night, like I've been there on Monday night, like you feel it in your chest. That place is crazy. Yeah. I can't imagine going out there as a quarterback on the first snap in the Superdome. Like that place is jumping. Like I remember being in the Superdome. We played the Saints 2 years ago on Monday Night Football. And dude, for kickoff, man, it's like it was hard to breathe. Like I can't even explain it. Like the noise and the pressure around you was like it changed you, man. I was like,
bet, yeah,
dude, I can't even imagine. So to get off college football, what is your thoughts on this new linebacker room? They seem like it's a pretty solid group.
I mean, I love Jordan Brooks. I've liked him from when he was a rookie. I was pretty hyped about him. Some people say it's like a lateral move from Jerome Baker. I don't really agree with that. I think he's an upgrade.
Yeah.
David Long is good. He's a really good linebacker. I mean, that's like the two best linebackers we've had, paired together in a little bit. And then I guess Tyndall's starting to show a little bit. I mean, we got a new DC, so all these guys we have preconceived notions of, they might in a new scheme with a new coach who, the coach is going to come in and look at things differently. And so it's like a fresh start for some of those guys like Tyndall. They can finally maybe, break into the getting some reps and stuff. So yeah, I mean, the linebacker room seems pretty good. Like I said before, the D line might be a little bit of a concern. I don't know. We won't know until they start playing the real games. But I mean, we still got Sealer. It's just the edge spots right now are a little up in the air, but I mean,
so I think if Weaver goes off like Baltimore did, then it'd be more of like chaos with numbers. So like you'll have Chop Robinson lined up over the center standing up.
I like that.
You'll have like, like a wide nine crazy, just like throw everything at you, like beating, just put 5 speed guys out there and say, stay in front of us. See if you can stay in front of us. So, like, that's one thing I think we'll see. That's another good thing about preseason. I want to see this defensive tackle room. I want to see who stands out, who separates themselves. I mean, I'm higher on Tierra Tart than most people. Tierra Tart at one point was, like, considered one of the best defensive tackles in football. He was mad in Tennessee because he wasn't getting the absolute bag. So, like, that dude's talented. And if the right guy shows up, Tierra Tart can be a problem. Like, he could be a true
He's a nose, changer. Right? He's a nose,
yes.
Right?
Yep.
I mean – you probably feel the same way. Like the years of Raekwon Davis, it always like the whole time you just kind of wanted more. You know what I mean? Like it felt like that he should have been, there was more for him to give, and we just weren't getting it. And like, I don't know. I think that's kind of for that specific position, that's kind of an upgrade too, in my opinion. Like Tart's a little more proven than Raekwon Davis is, so it's like that's a good spot. I mean, I guess it's mainly just the edges, man. We need our boys back healthy, because they were wreaking havoc last year, bro. Like Chubb and Phillips doing all the dances after all the sacks. Like they had some freaking aura to them. And like, I hope for both of that. Like Phillips is ahead of schedule. They're saying he's pushing to try to play. Like,
yeah,
I hope so, because that kid was unbelievable last year.
Yeah, he was definitely hitting his stride. I think that was the Hard Knocks clip where he was like, man, I tore my shit, Mike. And he was like, I was balling too. And then he was like, started crying. It's like, dang, dude, that's tough. He really was, man. He was coming on. Like, it was like every game he was doing something crazy. And Chubb too, man. Chubb was going wild. Like, he was making crazy plays. I mean, the Patriots game, he chased somebody like 20 yards downfield and caused that fumble. That was big. Like, so yeah, I mean, we definitely need those guys. I think Jalen Phillips, maybe week 1, but nonetheless, he's definitely way ahead of schedule, like you said. And then Chubb, you're probably looking at a week 6, week 8 type window. Don't worry about the dog, bro. It's all good.
Oh, you sure, man? I'm trying to tell him to shut up.
I don't care about the dog, bro. It's all good. We've had worse.
I put him in the other room. I have the door shut, but he howls
you're
a
all
little
good,
bit.
bro.
He's
It's his house too, man. It's all good. This was spontaneous, man. No one can have any exceptions. But yeah, any closing thoughts? I guess we'll just get out of here.
I mean, we got the number 1 player, man, in the league. That was a cool moment watching the clip from the special on it, where he was so hyped about it. And he like really manifested that shit. That was the coolest part about it. Like he's been thinking about that since 2017. You know,
Yeah.
there was that clip of him telling Tom Brady he was number one, and yeah, I mean, we just locked up the number one player for a few more years. You know, and like who could be upset at that, man? Like our most fun moments the past couple of years have been all the he's got Hill. You know, hit it. You got it.
That is 6.
Oh, wrong. There it is. We get to hear that for 3 more years minimum. So I mean, you can't complain, man. I'm hyped.
Yeah, I think like you said, that clip really showed you how much it meant to him. Like, I think we lose that human side of players. Sometimes you think, oh, this guy's highly paid, freaking nature, best receiver in the league. They don't think about that kind of stuff, but man, it still matters to these guys. They still have their little things they're chasing, their little milestones, and they mean something to them. You know, we forget about that sometimes. And I agree, man. When he found out that he actually was number one, he couldn't believe. He's like, don't play. Like he about broke the trophy, about squeezed the life out of Raheem Mostert. Like you could tell it really did mean something to him. So that it's really cool when you see that, man, because it's more than a game for these guys. I mean, it really is their life. So it's really cool to see that.
Well, hey, just this pretty boy FPV just wrote. I wanted to see what you thought about this. He said, what's up, guys? I think we should sign Connor Williams to play guard, and he can back up Brewer in case Brewer gets hurt at center. Do you realistically, is that possible, man? Or like is Connor is the relationship not that great?
Yeah,
where
so
that could even happen.
One thing you definitely learn in this league is never say never. But I'll tell you this, and I'll just tell you what I know and my whole perspective on the whole situation. Connor Williams held in last offseason because he wanted a contract extension. The Dolphins didn't give it to him. He goes out there, has a very gnarly knee injury, sets him back. Apparently he considered retirement this offseason. It was so bad, lost a bunch of weight. I don't see a world where that relationship gets fixed. So like, I think that Connor Williams is out the door. I think if he plays in this league, it'll be somewhere else. I think that that relationship is tarnished, and he probably has a sour taste in his mouth, and he might have a right to. I mean, if that's the game. You won't guarantee money. You don't get it. Now you got a injury that changes your whole career and kills your value, and that's money missed. So like, I get it. I get both sides for sure, but I think that relationship's over. Plus, if he wants to stay at center, that's another issue. Aaron Brewer is absolutely our center. So like, there's no moving him to guard. There's no like his size and athleticism. He is your pulling center. That's just what it is. If he's not good in pass pro, he's not good in pass pro, but that's your center. Aaron Brewer is going nowhere else. So it might not even be a fit logistically. So I don't think it's going to work relationship wise. And he probably, at this point, they probably knew and they pivoted, paid $7 million to Aaron Brewer. That's probably where they're at.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm fine with that. I mean, Aaron Brewer, he should be fine in the run game. I mean, we know like our best games were when we were able to pull him out in front of HN and Mostert, Connor Williams. And I think Brewer can do that same stuff. So, and that's Brewer's specialty. Like if there's anything he can do, that's it. And that was the biggest thing. We lost that wide zone stuff and that outside stuff with HN when we lost Connor. And that took a lot from our dynamic of our whole offense. So like, if that's what you're worried about, you just got the best center in the league at doing that. So like, you should even be concerned. That dude down 20 yards downfield, knocking Patrick Queen's head off last year. Yeah, he's an athletic dude for a big man. Real athletic.
So to talk on that real quick, the highest paid offensive trio in the NFL, no more excuses. It kind of feels like McDaniel thinks he can overcompensate for the O-line with speed. Or like just, I'll keep adding talent, and eventually the O-line won't matter as much. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see what we saw last year, really. I mean, because the O-line, if you look at grades and stuff, they did okay, but like we were getting the ball out so quick, and I just think we're gonna get more of that, and you're just gonna see new wrinkles to it. I think the run game is gonna be a little more evolved. I think McDaniel's, especially with now you throw Jalen Wright out there, Achane fully healthy, like we can get back to that kind of where we have Mostert and A-Chain on the field. I think that's our peak version of our offense. You have Hill and Waddle on the outside, then you're gonna have Beckham too, and then those two dudes in the backfield or however whatever way you position them. I think that's the best version of our offense. And when that run game's cooking, we're virtually unstoppable. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that.
Yeah, I think if anything, if we can get like you said, you hit that on the head. If we can get the run game going, I think it helps everything. So like adding Jalen Wright, getting the whole group healthy again, rotate them, whatever we need to do to keep that group fresh. Also, it became a topic in the locker room last year when we kept throwing the ball at the goal line. The running backs kind of got fed up. There was kind of like a locker room meeting, like, hey, man, we need to let's pound the ball in. Like we get it all the way down there. Let's finish it off. And the running backs really wanted to do that. So they did make a more of an emphasis towards the end of the year, but still had the issues, inconsistencies. I think if we can really lean on the run game and let it complement the passing game, it could do so much for this team. It really could.
And we got Jonnu too, man. I'm really hyped for that. I know, he was on here, which is awesome, but he's so perfect for this offense, man. He's such an athletic, big tight end. Like, I don't know. There's a lot more wrinkles that I think McDaniel can add, especially in the red zone. Because, we had what, 20 mid-20s rushing touchdowns last year. Maybe it was 30. I don't even remember, but it was up there. It might have been over 30. But
Raheem had 20 himself.
We're gonna have to probably throw a little more in the red zone this year. Teams will probably force us to. No, because they'll know that, last year they had all these rushing touchdowns. But now with guys like Jonnu, veteran like Odell Beckham, there's a little more stuff in that McDaniel can throw out there to maybe, make us more effective in the red zone.
Yeah, we talked about that with Cam Wolf last night. I think they kind of they didn't have a receiving threat at tight end at all. So they just kind of said, all right, we don't. So we're going to use basically our tight end as an extension of the O-line. And we're just going to use the guys we got out wide in the run game. So I think Jonnu, Tanner Conner, Jody Fortson could be a red zone, purely a red zone threat. You bring him on the field inside the 20, and you better keep your eyes on that dude. He's massive.
How tall is he?
6'5".
Damn, yeah. That's big to have a guy like that.
And Jody was on here, and he even said, I'm not a tight end, man. I'm a weapon. So, I'm lining up everywhere.
Like
yeah, he's like, I'm all over the field. I'm lining up everywhere. So I don't see myself as a tight end. I'm too fast. I'm too big. I'm too everything. So he was like, I'm coming on the field to make plays. I don't care where I'm lined up. I'll be everywhere. They'll have to, plan for that.
Yeah, these guys we grabbed in the offseason, it was intentional. There was a true purpose behind getting these specific guys, I think, to fit the offense and do certain things that we weren't able to before. So I'm hyped, man. I'm ready for the season to start. It's August now. We're here. It's starting to kick in. Did my first fantasy football draft already. I'm just itching for football, man. I need it so bad right now.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of what's the head scratcher with O-line is they seem like they had clear holes on the team and they went and doubled up at all those spots. You got linebacker, you got tight end, receiving tight end specifically. I feel like they went and got guys at the places we needed. A third receiver, you go get Odell, Malik Washington in the draft, and draft Taj Washington, which looks like he's probably headed to a redshirt year. But they double up and go all in at the spots we really needed it. And then O-line still, for the last 20 years, they're just except for O-line, I think we're really going to just make that work. It's I think that's what makes it such a head scratcher is they do so much and have done so much with everything else. And we just really got to sit here and look at the O-line now because it's the sore thumb. So it's man, if you could just get us a guard.
I know. Hey, we got two tackles now at least though. We have a bunch of tackles, really. The B&B show. I like that.
Real quick, funny to touch on that. When the season gets closer, we're actually we have another show we're going to start up, a little fantasy football Friday night roundtable. So y'all look forward to that. We're going to do live questions. It's going to be a lot more interactive, a lot more we're going to drop the link, let people come up, talk ball, just talk fantasy, whatever your lineup questions, whatever, just talk fantasy. It's going to be a fantasy show and Blizzy's going to be up here and another person. So we look forward to that. So we actually have something in the works. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that'll be fun Friday nights.
Yep. You remember what you were trying to say?
The tackles we have. I mean, there was a time where we didn't have like any offensive tackles. Now I feel like we have like 4. So like from that angle, we're good on the O line. It's really like we said a couple times, right? It's really just the interior we got to figure out. But I got McDaniel's scheme. McDaniel knows, he knows what he needs to do at certain times. So it's like I'm not too overly concerned yet. The big thing with us is going to be staying healthy. That's always going to be the bottom line for us, because we do have some guys that get injured. So it's like you got to knock on wood this year. We need that good luck health. It happened with the Niners. Think about it. That one year, remember
They didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, they didn't have a quarterback. Nick Bosa got hurt. Everybody got hurt. And they won 4 games, and then the next year they went to the Super Bowl because they stayed healthy. That's just the NFL, Injury luck is a real thing.
I do, and I don't not taking up for Tua with everything, but I do think one thing people get confused all the time is Tua sucks in the cold, but we were down 20 people, and by the way, no one showed up for Kansas City, so we could talk about Tua, but we could just talk about the Dolphins. And when you're down 20 people and you show up with that kind of attitude, that's kind of how you got the result you got. So it could be a Tua thing, but it's a team thing. And like Cam Wolf said, no one wants to hear it, but Jordan Poyer was kind of spitting about, the mentality in the past and how people look at this team. So if you want to change that perspective, only you can change that perspective. So, hey, show up in January and December and smack somebody in the mouth and win a game, and no one's going to be talking about it no more.
That's football, man. I'm glad he said that at public like that, because everybody took note of it, and I'm sure they've talked about it too inside the locker room. So it's it's time to get a little more physical.
Oh, that's another thing. I'll bring it up since you just brought that up. I've heard the guys talking to a few guys in the locker room this offseason. The mentality has been insane. So that's one thing that got me hyped. And you see it. You hear about the Ramsey speech and all that. All the interviews, the guys are telling the same. The mentality in the locker room, I can tell y'all right now, is locked in. People are super focused, no bullshit, no excuses. You mess up, foot's in your ass. We don't care. We're not doing all that shit. We're not playing pity party. Everybody is locked in. They know what time it is. There's no excuses. The talent's there. Everybody's locked in. So that was really cool to hear.
Tua said that yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Tua?
Today,
he
I
said
think.
that exactly. Oh, it was today. Yeah.
Yeah, this morning.
Yeah, I mean that you love to hear that because I think they know the deal, man. This is the year. It's time. It's time to put the big boy pants on. We've improved each year, and now it's time to go, man. And these guys are all comfortable enough with each other now where they can just call each other out when a guy, or pick each other up, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, and even Tyreek, speaking of Tyreek getting his new deal today, when Tyreek was on here, he said, I know y'all think we just living the perfect life and making money and living in Miami. He said, but I think we're all on the hot seat. And this is kind of cool to hear now, seeing that he got his deal. We're all on the hot seat. We got to show up. We know that. We're not down here just living in fantasy land. We know what's at stake. We know that we all got a job to do and what's on our shoulders. So we're taking it dead serious. And he said that, and that was 4 or 5 weeks ago. So these guys are taking it serious. They're not out here just chilling, making millions. They know the importance of it and what it means to this fan base and everything else. So it's awesome to know, man. We're in good hands.
We are. We got Tyreek Hill locked up, baby. We're in good hands.
All right. Any last thoughts, brother?
Nah, that's all I got, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. We'll do it some more. Like I said, we got a fantasy show coming once we get a little closer. I think we said we might break it out this Friday. I'm not sure yet. We'll see logistically if that works for everyone, but maybe this Friday. But if not, we got a fantasy show coming in the future on top of what we already do. Don't forget tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern, Tanner Connor, tight end of the Miami Dolphins, will be joining us. So that'll be awesome. Right in the middle of training camp. That should be very cool to, pick his brain and see where his mentality is. And he's been going off, man. He's been looking good. So I'm excited to sit down with Tanner Connor and get some of that inside info and what's it like inside that locker room right now, and to hear about, what it's like for a guy, battling to make the 53, so this is going to be really cool.
Yeah, that's going to be a cool perspective.
And
you can ask him about last year too, you know, getting hurt.
yeah, we can ask him like, is that considered a redshirt year? Do you feel that way? Like, is that how it's used or what? Because he's kind of dealt with that.
Yeah.
Well,
Right on.
appreciate y'all spending a little time with us. Obviously, for a good reason. Tyreek Hill is here to stay. He got paid. And one more time on the way out.
Oh, he's got Hill. He's got Hill. That is
Rejoice.